For my coaching philosophy, this comes back to when I was coaching in England, because in England you have worse weather conditions than Germany, so I always believe that the ball needs to be rolling. So I always try to do everything with the ball as much as possible. Of course, this is not always the case, but this is really, really important for me. I want to get as many game scenarios to the guys as possible because I want them to make decisions on the pitch. In the end of the day, this is not PlayStation, this is real life, and if I'm 60 meters away from them and I shout something, they should not pay attention to me, they should pay attention to what is happening on the pitch. So I want to educate players to take decisions. That's the core of my philosophy. I prefer working with younger players, but I would just generalize it more to people with a good learning mentality, because I have also older players who are amazing, who are fantastic to what, especially in the everyday or in trainings, in games, they are somehow the coach on the pitch sometimes. Yeah. So just to wrap it up, you know, I really am all for empowering the young players, to give them ownership, of course, if they are working really hard, but of course this is not just selecting young players to play. This comes down to the training pitch, how we train, how we prepare players to take decisions, how we prepare them to know their jobs, to know their roles in our game plan, and then slowly to bring that on the pitch, which takes time.
Yeah, that brings me to my next question. You mentioned young players, talented players who are hungry to play in Germany. Speaking of scouting, what kind of qualities are you looking for?
Yes, of course, first of all, I really split the attributes of a player in 4 categories. We have the technical qualities. This change with every position. So for example, for a center back, you want someone who is good in the air. Or for a fullback or a winger, you want someone who is able to cross and has good dribbling skills. That's the one category, the technical skills. The second category is the physical skills, so the fitness. So someone to have this natural fitness, to be strong if it's a center back or a striker, or to be really fast and agile if they are a winger. Then we have the tactical understanding. You know, because of course we have different phases in every game. We have with the ball, how we need to be on the pitch with the ball, how we need to be against the ball, what are our jobs with standards. So we want players who can understand that playing as a right back doesn't only mean where the magnet is on the tactics board, and it goes and has to do with understanding certain game situations. And the fourth thing, which I believe is really important, is the psychological or social. It's not always easy to be away from home, but it gets easier when you try to understand the culture or the people that you meet here. You know, you need sometimes players who have this character to step outside the comfort zone and to say, okay, I have left maybe my home if it's someone who comes from abroad, and to be thinking, okay, how can I adjust to life in Germany or in another country? How can I become part of the team in the changing room? And this has nothing to do sometimes if you are an introvert or an extrovert. You know, you can still find your space. And especially in the life today, you know, for example, to block yourself sometimes from the team, it's by being on your phone. But there is always this social element in football when you become the part of the team that brings always a better performance also from you. So these are the 4 categories where if a player that I have on trial, I'll say him, you know, the technical abilities regarding to the position. I will see him in game scenarios, how he can understand the tactic. I will be able to see, I think, his fitness, or we might have our fitness coach to do some tests with him, and then I will also try to observe myself and my coaching staff, you know, his body language in the changing room, how he's reacting, you know.
Sounds really nice. Yeah, lastly, what advice would you give to Korean or foreign players who are aiming to succeed in Germany?
You know, coming in a new country, sometimes if someone comes from abroad, I really believe that it's really important to take your own decisions, but take informed decisions. What I mean is, you know, you come to new country, you don't know how things work. Of course, it's better always to do your mistakes, but make sure if you need to take a decision that you have people near you that you can ask, that you can trust for their honesty and their opinion. But in the end, based on what you hear, on the information, you make an informed decision. I think this is really important when you are in a different country.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, learn the language. You know, for me, this had been a bit tough, but learning German has been something that has made me close also to my players. And I think these three things, you know, like having people that you can trust, going out of your comfort zone, and dealing also with the fact that you sometimes, you know, it will be tough being away from home. Then if you manage to overcome that, I think you have nothing to worry about.
Thank you so much for sharing your insights. I'm sure that many players or fans will find them valuable. So yeah, we wish you all the best with SV Dessau and best luck.
Thank you very much.